Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. I guess I'm just quite observant and I pay attention to a lot of things. Human behavior really fascinates me. One of the key elements of human behavior is, humans have a greater fear of loss than enjoyment of success. All the academic studies will show you that the fear of loss of capital is far greater than the enjoyment of gains. I just always wanted to study human behavior because every psychologist that I would talk to would tell me I was bipolar, and I know I'm not bipolar, so I had to perform a psychoanalysis on myself to find out that I have unresolved grief. The self-image is the key to human personality and human behavior. Change the self-image and you change the personality and the behavior. At the core of all human behavior, the good feelings we all want are more or less the same. Therefore, what we get out of life is not determined by the good feelings we desire but by what bad feelings we're willing to sustain. Telling a story is the way of exploring so many different things: human behavior, society, whatever existence. That human behavior is more influenced by things outside of us than inside. The situation is the external environment. The inner environment is genes, moral history, religious training. Human behavior is an enormously complex set of things, and that mixture of underlying things is different for different people, so it's not just complex, it's meta-complex. Human behavior in the midst of hardship caught my attention very early on, and my first stories were all pictures, no words. I gravitate toward the law, I think, certainly more times than not, because it's our best mechanism for legislating human behavior, and morality, and ethics. I love looking at machines that mimic human behavior. War had always seemed to me to be a purely human behavior. Accounts of warlike behavior date back to the very first written records of human history. It seemed to be an almost universal characteristic of human groups. I hope my work contributes to understanding long-term patterns of human behavior and how we survive, thrive, or fail during times of environmental, social, and economic crisis. People say I make strange choices, but they're not strange for me. My sickness is that I'm fascinated by human behavior, by what's underneath the surface, by the world's inside people. As many an architect will tell you, human behavior changes according to the environment. I think puns are not just the lowest form of wit, but the lowest form of human behavior. Situational variables can exert powerful influences over human behavior, more so than we recognize or acknowledge. The most perfect expression of human behavior is a string quartet. One of the uncertain pleasures of adulthood, for me, has really been about confronting how little I know about the world and how much completely baffles me about the world and human behavior. Entitlement is just the grossest kind of human behavior. Strange are the ways of human behavior. We can't just have mainstream behavior on television in a free society, we have to make sure we see the whole panorama of human behavior. Being abroad makes you conscious of the whole imitative side of human behavior. The ape in man.